My wife and I have been married for over 10 years now, but I'll never forget our first date. We went to Applebee's on our first date and we talked and we had a really great time. And I'll never forget the word that I thought of as we were having that first date: refreshing. Have you ever talked to somebody and you just think to yourself, wow, this is just such a wonderful conversation. It's so refreshing. How do they know what they're saying? Like, this is just so nice to have this kind of conversation. And I still remember all of these years later, just thinking how refreshing that was. And as we're going through Joshua, we're into chapter 2. We're talking about Rahab in Joshua chapter 2. And Joshua sent these two spies out into Jericho, and they don't know who they're going to encounter or what they're going to have to do or who they're going to meet or what's going to happen. They're completely in the dark. And they end up meeting Rahab the harlot. And of all the people that could have helped them, I'm not sure Rahab the harlot would have made the top 10 list of people they were expecting to receive help from. But here we go. Rahab the harlot is the one who's going to help them. And I can only imagine what it would have been like for those spies to have had a conversation with Rahab the harlot. Did they truly expect or think that she was going to talk about what she was going to talk about? Did they think that she knew what she knew? I mean, this is just crazy. Do you remember what Rahab said to these spies? Let's read this in Joshua chapter 2, verses 8 through 14. Now, before they lay down, she came up to them on the roof and said to the men, this is what she's going to tell them. This is so insightful. I know that the Lord has given you the land. How does she know? That the terror of you has fallen on us, and that all the inhabitants of the land are faint-hearted because of you. For we have heard how the Lord dried up the water of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to the two kings of the Amorites who were on the other side of the Jordan, Sihon and Og, whom you utterly destroyed. And as soon as we heard these things, our hearts melted. Neither did there remain any more courage in anyone because of you. For the Lord your God, he is God in heaven above and on earth beneath. Now, therefore, I beg you, swear to me by the Lord, since I have shown you kindness, that you will also show kindness to my father's house, and give me a true token, and spare my father, my mother, my brothers, my sisters, and all they have, and deliver our lives from death. So the men answered her, our lives for yours, if none of you tell this business of ours. And it shall be when the Lord has given us the land that we will deal kindly and truly with you. Do you suppose these spies would have ever dreamed that Rahab the harlot would know about this stuff? I wonder if she knew more about it than they did. I mean, we're a couple of generations past the parting of the Red Sea. We're years and years later. We're talking, I mean, the children of Israel have spent 40 years wandering in the wilderness. Rahab wasn't even alive probably at this time. It's hard to say. Yet she knows. And as she's having this conversation with these men, I bet they're feeling really refreshed, like, wow, the Lord really probably truly is here. Wow, this is amazing. You ever have feelings and moments like that, that you really are on the right path, and the people that you're talking to, maybe God really did put them into your life for a reason, and wow, maybe this is where you're supposed to be going and who you're supposed to be talking to, and wow, they do know more than I ever would have dreamt that they would have known about what's going on. And Rahab is able not only to give them safe harbor, but to also refresh their hearts in the midst of all that they're trying to do. Joshua's trying to lead them into the land. He sends these spies out. They meet Rahab the harlot. And of all the people that could have helped them, it's her. And she's now refreshed their hearts, given them safe harbor, and is making a promise with them, making a deal with them, that when you guys come back in and take this land, and I know that this is going to happen, that you remember me. And they will remember her when they come back into the land. How refreshing